Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, August 21st. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right here will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we are looking at THAR, big mover today. And now we have, you got to think that there's going to be lots of eyeballs watching this one headed into Thursday. So the first level that stands out to me is terms of supports is what I would call the ideal level. When you say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? There we go. And that would be if the price could stay up here above this level here at $2.95. Now, don't get me wrong. If the price falls down there and then goes below, it does not mean the overall chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But yeah, if the price could manage to stay above that level, that would certainly be a great sign of strength. Taking a step back and looking at things from the bigger picture point of view, that's where that purple line comes into play, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. It's basically like a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. So assuming you care about the overarching standpoint of things, as long as the price is above that trend line, then overall the price is building higher bases and it is staying in an overall uptrend. Now, I do realize that if you're some sort of day trader and you bought right there, you probably don't necessarily care about that, 50-period moving average. But I'm just trying to make that comment from, again, more so of an overarching standpoint. In terms of areas of resistance, no need to overcomplicate this. Very straightforward, just a simple question. Where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up there at $4.06. So again, nothing fancy there. Party stopped at 406, so that'll be the main battleground headed into Thursday. Next one here, OPEN, and this one decided to act human a little bit more today and pull back a bit further. Now, overall, the chart's still fine. The chart's still way up above its pink line there, which is a 200-period moving average. Both in the near term and as far as this wedge that I had drawn in past videos, the price broke down below it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those levels as they serve their purpose for now. And the first level to watch now moving forward, if there is any sort of attempted bounce back upwards, is now going to be that purple line right there, which on my chart denotes that 50-period moving average as we discussed. Current value of that right there around $3.46. So like I said, if there is any sort of bigger bounce, then that'll be the first key level. Yes, you have areas up here that could be potential areas of resistance, but you also want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's just first see if the price can not only bounce up to that level, but then break up above 346. In terms of areas of support, squeeze this down. Let's change this to green to represent a support. But the next key overarching level is this gap close location, which overall did a good job of holding today at 304. You can see there was a former area of resistance. And no, you can't see that because it's behind my mug. There we go. But right here, you can see there's an area of resistance, and then this gap. And then when gaps close, you want to see them act as support. And that's what happened there. So far, so good in that regard. So moving into Thursday, again, near-term area of support right there at 304. Near-term area of resistance right there at 346. Next one, SOXS, and we're looking at a nice little pattern here. Now, this also depends on all about your game plan, meaning if you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, then yes, the chart looks really rough as there was a bigger pullback. But assuming you care about the big picture of things, the price is actually pulled back to a significant area, and that is this pink line right here, which you now know is that 200-period moving average, and so far, so good. Price has done a great job of holding up above it. Now, is this a muscle do or die level? I'm not going to go quite that far, but if the price could stay above 735, that would by far be the most preferable situation. A level that I would say is way more important, though, is going to be the little brother of the 200 period, which you now know is the 50 period right here at $7.12. So if the price were to go down there and then break down below it, that would be way more of a red flag that, maybe things are starting to fall apart. But as of right now, even with the bigger pullback, price still has plenty of opportunity to build that higher base. In terms of areas of resistance, I think a hardy trend line right here will potentially be a good way to kind of gauge the current battlegrounds. So keep an eye on that resistance line right there. If the price can curl up there and get the break up through there, then I could see very realistically generating some upside buying pressure. Next one, PLTR. Very, very brutal start to the day. Gap down. Price just continued to bleed. Leveled out, though, and now a very nice bounce. So is there any sort of genuine power behind this bounce? Nobody knows the answer to that, but we can help or make that question easier to answer. And in my mind, very important level right here at 147.50. Why is this important? I'm not saying this will occur, but if the price were to come down here and then break down below it, what would that be doing to the price? that would quite literally be putting the price right back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make nice moves and then go right back to where they started, not exactly a sign of genuine power or strength or anything like that. But on the flip side, to be fair, nothing can go straight up. So maybe the price comes down here and in this situation behaves like that. Now all of a sudden, what do you have? Well, you have a set of lows right here. You have lows right here. And if you envision each of those as stair-steps, now you have progress being made in the upwards direction. And that's what a truly strong move is going to do, is it's going to at least show signs of progress. So is this bounce truly strong? I don't know. Let's see if it can show progress. How is progress being defined? Again, staying above $147.50. So can the price stay above it? Grab your popcorn and we'll see what happens. Next one here, NVIDIA, same exact situation. So I'm going to go through this much quicker, but we have the circumstance here where it nasty moved down, but then the price had a very nice bounce. So yes, is there any sort of genuine power behind this bounce? Well, let's find the quote unquote progress point. Again, the area, because no price can go straight up, but you at least want to see progress being made. And in my mind, the progress point on this one, right down here at the 171 mark. So if the price comes down here and then breaks down through it, okay, you are literally right back to where it started. But if it can come down there and bounce off there, then yes, in that situation, you would once again have progress being made in the upwards direction. So yes, 171, very, very important level moving forward to simply see if NVIDIA can show some signs of progress. Real quick, want to take a break and address a potential and very common problem out there, and that is people that want to be day traders, but because of that pattern day trading rule, they can't. And I am defining day trader as having unlimited day trades every single day. So if you are interested in that and are frustrated by that pattern day trading rule, just know there is a way that you can totally kick the pattern day trading rule to the curb, get into a market that's open 23 hours a day, 6 days a week, and quite frankly, moves very, very nicely and quickly. But I also understand if all this sounds a little bit too good to be true, if you're a little skeptical, totally get it. That's why I want to also invite you to check out my live stream. I live stream every day starting at 11 a.m. and I usually go for 11 a.m. Eastern, that is, and I go for a few hours. So definitely swing by, check it out, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. But yes, if you are tired of the pattern day trend rule, you want a market that allows for really, really impressive movements, and you don't need a lot of capital anyways, then definitely check out the link, or at least swing by the live stream and check it out for yourself. Next one here, NBY, and we have ourselves a nice overall pattern. Keyword there being overall, because I get it, day traders that bought right there might not necessarily care about this pattern, but maybe they would. But regardless, though, from the overarching standpoint, nice solid pattern here. So let's get this drawn into play. We have an area of resistance right there. We have this area of support right there. Let's change that to green. And then just to make sure the pattern can be seen, let's keep it all one color. So we have our area of resistance. We have our support. We have a nice upwards move right here. For you golfers, try to make it a little bit more visual. Put the golf hole down here. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go upwards. But is it valid? Is it logical to think that if the price were to come here and break through it, that break right there could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a valid scenario, especially checking out this last 30 minutes here. You can see the price is getting pretty spicy. Volume's coming back to life. So yeah, let's see if the bulls can get a breakout of the pennant on Thursday. Next one, RCKT, and I like this one just because there seems to be a very well-defined area, and I'm not saying that this is a great discovery or anything like that, but you got to think, in fact, let's just draw a flat across, but you got to think a lot of people have noticed this general area right here at $3.85. It was basically the opening part of that candle, high point, and now the price is right here below it. So while nothing is guaranteed, is it valid to think, and even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, but is it valid to think that if the price comes up here and breaks through there, that break could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a valid question to throw out there as possibility. And in my mind, I think that's by far the most interesting attribute of this one is all eyes on 385. Can the price break through it? Grab that popcorn. Next one here, SISI, and we got ourselves another pattern. So let's just get this pattern drawn into play here. So we have the resistance part of the pattern. We have the support part of the pattern. Maybe you see where I'm headed with this. It should hopefully start to look familiar. Not the exact same shape, but the general idea. So we have a resistance. We have a support. We have a very nice move right there. We have this golf hole down here, and this would be another bull pennant pattern. So if you like bull pennants, you're just starting to get a bit of a variety to choose from here on Thursday. Next one here, taking a look at SPY. I know some of you are probably caring about more so the overall markets on a day like this. And right now, yes, there's no doubt about it. There was a nice bounce throughout the course of the day. But when you factor in multiple days and you factor in that just a couple days ago, the price was up here and then came all the way down here, what we have here is a bear flag pattern. Now, earlier I mentioned just because something's in a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. Same is true here. Just because something is in a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go back downwards. But my point here is I'd be a little skeptical of the upwards nature here because I could very easily see this just getting continuation down, in the bearish direction. Again, not for sure going to happen, but sometimes bear flags get people's hopes up because, again, to be fair, part of the bear flag pattern is the fact that the price has been moving up right here. So you can see that getting excited, but you got to keep in mind the overall context. Now, if the price just continues to grind higher and higher, the bear flag will be off the table. But as of right now, if I were to be forced to summarize kind of where the market's at, where's the SPY at right now, a bear flag. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and same general idea of what I just talked about, although a little different because technically speaking, I would not call this a bull flag, but this is more, I'm sorry, a bear flag. I'd call this more of a bear pennant because right across the top here, you can see that we do have that pink line, which is a 200 period moving average. But to be fair, the price did work its way up. So you do have upwards movement. The problem is when you factor in multiple days, as we just did with SPY, and you draw that down, and then put the golf ball up here so it's an upside down pennant, this would be a bear pennant pattern. Once again, does not mean for sure guaranteed Tesla is on its way down. But would this sort of action surprise anybody? I don't think it would surprise anybody. In fact, if it does surprise you, that probably just would be a sign that you have more learning to do and you got to work on your chart vision. But like I said, Tesla, if the bulls show up and they're like, no, we're going to smack this pattern in the face, then if they can push up through that pink line there, or better yet, get up through that purple line, then that would, cast this bear pennant to the side. But as of right now, the bear pennant is fully in play. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you are sick and tired of the pattern day trader rule, you want to become a day trader. And like I said, day trader being defined as being allowed to make as many day trades as you want every single day, then check out the link that I have here and that you see at the top of the screen. Very little capital is required. You gain access to an amazing market and one where, like I said earlier, I put my money where my mouth is. This is exactly what I am doing. And if you want to see it with your very own eyes, interact with me, ask me questions, then definitely swing by the live stream. Again, I start every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, so definitely be sure to swing on by and let me know if you have any questions. So thanks as always for watching. Hope you enjoy these top 10 videos, and like I said, hopefully I'll see you on the live stream.